Hello guys, today we have some good stuff to go over, especially Bitcoin, Ethereum, some altcoins. So as usual, let's start out with Bitcoin. As you know, we've been in this long trade since $115,000. And since then, we had a really nice reaction all the way up to 120,000 basically, almost. And yesterday, I gave you two areas of possible resistance. One was here, and the other one was about here. We did not reach this point, but however, we did reach this point where I did send a short trade. Here, I said, watch these levels on Bitcoin. These were the levels. Once we hit the price, I said, okay, I'm taking a take profit here on Bitcoin. And then I said, I took a hedge position on Bitcoin. So as you can see, I had this long with an entry at 115,000. I took 1K profit, and then I opened my short at 119,300. This is just a hedge position, which is supposed to protect me from a bigger drop. So I'm not interested in taking any profit really, but this is just to protect in case we do something like this and keep on dropping. So even if Bitcoin goes back to 100K, I don't care because I'm protected. I'm gonna get stopped out of my long from here and my short is gonna keep on printing. And now if we wanna look at a local support, we can look at this area where we have this anchor VWAP from the low coming up into this area of support along with the daily level. And here we can look for something like a reaction like so, to add on to our long for a bounce. So in that case, in case we get a bullish reaction, we can put the stop loss below the low and we can target again. This would be my next area, 120,500. This is where I would look for a potential next short trade. And then if we flip that level, to be honest, I'm expecting a new all-time high. If instead we don't hold this level and we actually flip it into resistance, we can expect a bigger drop. This is possible. We could go get this liquidity, but we would have to see. So this is also a possibility. However, for me, the next important target would be if we lose that area around here, where we do also have a daily naked point of control at around 110,975. So if we fail to hold this area where we're at right now, so it's actually going to be interesting to monitor the reaction here. There you go. The level just hit. It will be interesting to see this and a big retracement down to here. And then from here, we can see the reversal. Honestly, losing this area, something like that would not be bullish at all. It would be quite worrying. We do not want to see that happening. Either way, if you listen to me, you have your short trade from here. So even if that happens, that's okay. We keep on making money. This is the best situation that you can be in because as I said, we have the long here, we have the short here. Whatever happens next doesn't matter. So even if we react here and we add to our long with a stop loss below here, if this bounces and it stops our short, we have the position here which prints and we have this position here that keeps printing. If instead all of this fails and we just keep on going down, we get stopped out of this, but this position right here, that's gonna make a lot of money. So this sums up, I would say, what my points of interest are. I will repeat them again. This is a potential short, 120,500. This is a potential long right now as it's actually developing. It is also important to note that on the BTC CME chart, we do also have a big gap right here. This is called a CME gap, and in theory, all these gaps act as support. And they do tend to be filled. And usually once they are filled, we expect a bounce. So this adds to the confluence of a possible long that we were looking at 117,500. But also it is important to keep in mind that we do have a bigger CME gap down here. So, it doesn't have to be filled, but this also adds confluence to the other trade that I was talking about where we could go back and take this low, fill the CME gap, and then see a bounce. And then as usual, we can switch up to the Ethereum BTC chart, which helps us understand how Ethereum could be moving compared to Bitcoin. If we hold this level, which at the moment we are doing, we can expect a move towards this weekly and monthly level where I wrote pit stop. So I am bullish on Ethereum and I'm expecting a move of at least another 15 to 20%, which would indicate a new all-time high. And would fit really well with the 4,500 target that I've been giving you guys. So I really don't think the high is in. The important thing to look at now are those candle closes on the 4 hours. We do want to see these candles closing above this line. Otherwise, it would not be bullish. Because if once we get acceptance into here, we can expect a move down to 3.5. So I would keep that in mind. Keep monitoring this and check the candle closures. However, if we can bounce here and hold, I do expect the move above 4,000, as I've been saying. Order flow on Bitcoin is not looking bad, considering that we have almost 4 million shorts here, which then get squeezed once we reclaim certain levels. But we do also want to see longs coming in for strength, which at the moment we are not seeing. So I'm not going to add anything yet. This is not an entry trigger yet. We did touch the anchor VWAP. But yeah, I'm gonna wait for the candles to close, maybe 2 or 3 30-minute candles, or maybe a change in market structure on the 5 minutes before I actually get in. So for now, it's not valid. Then I want to show you another amazing trade that I had given you on hype. This was absolutely perfect. I told you I bought, I think exactly here, 41 on this weekly level, or maybe at 41.8. This was my entry. And I told you that the new target was $50. And I think, honestly, that is where we're heading. And here's my position. As you can see, I added here after selling here and here. And I am currently making 600 open P&L, but I already closed 1.4K. Then at this point, I might as well show you Anna. This, again, was the trade I gave you. Honestly, one of my best trades. Literally gave you the exact low. My entry was 44 cents. Look at where I bought. 44 cents, and I already took $1,100 of profit, and I still have about $350 open. And that was a 533% on Anna. And again, if we can flip this level, my target is gonna be 91 cents. This is not important now, but if we do ever flip 91 cents, to be honest, I'm looking for above $1. I would say 1.3, 1.4, maybe even a new all-time high, who knows. So I will be holding that little bit of a position that I still have. So at the moment, Bitcoin is having a nice reaction, I would say. The level was hit, but I'm gonna wait for the candle closing. So in like 2 minutes, I might add on to my position. The best thing, to be honest, would be to, as always, as I say, the safest thing is to wait for a reclaim of the important level. So in this case, this point of control, which would also indicate a market structure change. And then you can open a little bit more above, but at this point, you know that your stop loss is below here, and you have a higher probability that this will keep bouncing. So you can do that if you want. If you wanted to be more aggressive, for example, I could have taken more risk and added as I was doing the video, and I could have just added at 117,700, but that's not always the best option. Anyways, I already have a position, so I don't really care. So yeah, very short video today, but this sums up, I think, the most important stuff. And for new trades, I will make a new video, probably tomorrow or after tomorrow. So if you have any requests, you can ask me down here, or you can ask me in my Discord, which I will also leave a link to join the Discord in the bio if you're interested in joining. It's completely free.